In a world where everyone screams to be noticed, have you ever paused to wonder where the true essence of power actually resides within us all? We are so busy trying to prove ourselves to the world that we forget our most brilliant presence often lies in the art of quiet disappearance. This journey is not about hiding from reality, but about finding a sanctuary within yourself where the noise of the external world simply cannot reach you. When we stop seeking the spotlight, we allow our inner light to grow, becoming a beacon that doesn't need to shout to be seen by others. True influence is often found in the spaces between words, in the moments of silence that speak much louder than any boastful claim or public display. Consider the strength of the wind or the depth of the ocean. They do not seek approval, yet their power is undeniable and felt by all. To disappear is to reclaim your energy from those who do not value it, and to invest it back into the core of your own being. By stepping back from the race of constant comparison, you begin to walk a path that is uniquely yours, guided by intuition rather than social pressure. The art of disappearing is the ultimate secret to gaining everything you ever wanted by simply letting go of the need to have it recognized. Look at the frantic pace of the modern city, where millions of souls are rushing toward a destination they often haven't even defined for themselves today. Every screen is a stage, and every person feels the weight of performing a version of themselves that is polished, perfect, and ultimately quite hollow. We have become addicted to the notification, the like, and the comment, measuring our self-worth by the fleeting attention of strangers across the digital void. This constant need to be seen is actually a mask for a deep-seated fear that without an audience we might not truly exist at all. In contrast, ancient wisdom teaches us that the most profound truth is found in stillness, where the ego dies and the true self finally breathes. Why are we so afraid of being invisible? Is it because we haven't yet learned how to be enough for ourselves without the world's constant applause? The moment you stop performing for others is the moment you start living for yourself, breaking the chains of social expectations that held you back. Time is the only currency we truly possess, yet we spend so much of it trying to convince people who don't care about our greatness. When you embrace the quiet, you discover that you are not losing the world. You are finally gaining the clarity to see it as it is. Silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of a deeper awareness that allows you to hear the whispers of your own soul. Who would you be if there was no one left to impress? This is the fundamental question that leads to true liberation and lasting personal power. The Japanese concept of ma reminds us that the space between things is just as important as the things themselves in creating true beauty. Like a flower that blooms in the heart of the night, your value does not decrease just because there is no one there to see it. True mastery is found when the artist disappears into the act of creation, leaving no room for ego or the desire for future public praise. When you focus on the process rather than the result, you build an internal strength that is far more durable than any temporary social status. The character for silence appears on the paper, written with a steady hand that reflects a mind completely at peace with the present moment. Just as a deep river moves quietly while a shallow brook splashes loudly, a person of true substance does not need to announce their presence. The philosophy of hidden fragrance suggests that your virtues should be like the scent of a hidden orchid, discovered only by those who seek. Retreating is not about weakness, it is a strategic withdrawal to gather your forces and cultivate a depth that the superficial world cannot understand. When your internal world becomes rich and abundant, you no longer feel the hunger for external validation that drives so many others to exhaustion. There is a quiet dignity in being unknown, a freedom that allows you to explore the furthest reaches of your potential without any judgment or fear. You are becoming like the mountain unmoved by the storms of opinion, standing firm in your own truth, while the world changes around you constantly. The moment you stop trying to look successful is the exact moment you begin to build the foundations of a truly successful and meaningful life. When you stop trying to be loved by everyone, you finally become truly lovable, right? Because you are finally showing up as your most authentic self. This paradox is the key to the universe. By letting go of the desire to possess, you find that everything you need comes to you. It is the balance between the ego and the essence, knowing when to act and when to remain still, that creates a life of harmony. Silence is a magnetic force. When you are content in your own presence, people are naturally drawn to the peace that you radiate so effortlessly. Without the noise of external opinions, your inner compass becomes incredibly accurate, leading you toward the life you were always meant to live today. You no longer need to perform, the stage is empty, and in that emptiness, you find the total freedom to simply be whoever you truly are. This is the effortless path, the way of the water that flows around obstacles rather than fighting them, reaching its destination through simple, persistent grace. Your mind becomes a mirror, reflecting the world without being distorted by it, allowing you to respond with wisdom rather than reacting with pure emotion. Letting go is the ultimate act of power. It shows that you trust yourself enough to let the world unfold without your constant, anxious interference. The art of disappearing is the final step in becoming whole, a return to the source where all things are possible and all needs are met. To master this art, you must first cultivate internal silence, a sanctuary within your mind that remains untouched by the chaos of the outside world. Practice secret discipline, work on your goals in the dark without the need for social media updates or the approval of your peers or friends. Like a seed growing beneath the earth, your progress is most powerful when it is invisible, building the roots that will eventually support your greatness. The third principle is non-attachment. Perform your duties with excellence, but do not cling to the rewards or the recognition that may follow your work. Let your actions be their own reward. Find joy in the simple act of doing, and the results will take care of themselves in time. When you are no longer hungry for attention, you become a person of true mystery and depth, qualities that are incredibly rare and attractive today. Build a life that feels good on the inside rather than one that just looks good on the outside to people you don't even know. Your absence should be felt as a powerful presence, a sign that you are occupied with things of much greater importance than seeking trivial social attention. Don't just talk about virtue, live it in your every choice, in the way you treat others when no one is watching you or recording. Internal peace is the strongest magnet in the universe. It pulls the right people and opportunities towards you without you ever having to chase them. Step away from the digital noise periodically to reconnect with the physical world and the real people who actually matter in your daily life journey. In the vastness of the universe, our egos are tiny, yet our potential for peace is infinite if we only choose to embrace the silence. You are becoming the master of your own narrative, a story written in the quiet moments of reflection rather than the loud outbursts of vanity. Be the mechanism that moves the world, hidden from view but essential to the function of everything beautiful and meaningful that exists around us. Your journey into the art of disappearing is the start of your true appearance as a person of substance, wisdom, and undeniable inner power. As the sun rises, it doesn't need to explain its light. It simply shines, and the whole world feels its warmth and sees its beauty. The pinnacle of self-expression is ultimately the realization that you no longer need to express anything to anyone but your own true self. When you are full from within, the external world stops being a source of lack and becomes a playground for your own creative energy. Disappear from the noise to find your own voice. Be silent so that you can finally be heard by those who truly understand your worth. The sound of your life will echo much further if it comes from a place of depth rather than a place of superficial and loud display. Let go of the heavy burden of being someone and embrace the light freedom of being exactly who you are in this very moment. There is a profound grace in the way nature operates, never hurrying, never boasting, yet everything is accomplished perfectly and on its own time. Your life is a masterpiece in progress, and the most important strokes are the ones you make when no one is looking at the canvas. True belonging starts with belonging to yourself, and that can only happen in the quiet spaces you create for your own soul to flourish. And the art of disappearing is not a destination, but a way of traveling through life with less baggage and much more clarity and purpose. Fly toward your own horizon, unburdened by the expectations of the ground, and find the heights that only the truly silent can ever reach. You are more than your image, more than your name, and infinitely more than the attention you receive from the world around you today. In the end, you will realize that by disappearing, you didn't lose anything at all. You simply found everything that truly matters in this life. Ask yourself this every day, and let the answer guide you toward the powerful, silent, and authentic life that is waiting for you now. The art of disappearing is the art of finally being found. Be still, be silent, be yourself, and watch as the world comes to you.